Hello Virgo, how are you? How are you really? This is your weekly tarot reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. I pray that all is well with you guys. We're going to go ahead and jump into your weekly tarot reading so you can kind of get a forecast of what you can expect for this upcoming week and what you can look out for and what you can prepare for and expect, okay? The card that we already have pulled for you guys is this Knight of Pentacles, okay? So this week, you could really be taking a look at your finances and really finding ways that you could budget better or save more. This is a week of basically cutting out any unnecessary subscriptions or any unnecessary memberships, okay? So it looks like you're really wanting to get yourself together financially, okay? You may be eyeballing different job opportunities and things of that nature, okay? Also be you kind of being really reserved with your energy as well and not just putting your energy and attention into a bunch of different people or different things. So this week you may be very selective with your time, your money, and your energy, which I think that's really good, okay? So what else do we have in store for our Virgos for this week? Okay, so this is the week of basically taking stock of where our energy, time, and money has really been going, okay? So it's like, who have I been spending a lot of my time with? Do they deserve this time that I'm giving them? You know, what all have I been stressing about? What all has been on my mind? What all has been, you know, in my energy field? Like, is it worth it, okay? What do I need to get rid of and what do I need to keep to conserve my energy, my money, and my time, okay? What else can we expect for Virgo for this week? What's going on with Virgo for this week? Okay, so this came out sideways, so it's just kind of like sometimes, so it's like sometimes you are, you know, doing your best to kind of like be selective with how you handle your money. But it's like other times it's almost as if like you kind of just slack off a little bit and just like, oh, well, you know, I'll just get it back. You know, yeah, this party, going to this party might drain my energy, but I'll get my energy back. Or maybe spending this money like, oh, I'll just go on my job and I'll just earn it back, okay? So it's kind of like you're balancing between the two different mindsets of conserving your energy, time, and money, or just splurging it and then just, you know, knowing that you'll get it back, okay? So it's like it's almost as if like you're going back and forth, okay? But I'm seeing here that you want to have healthy boundaries, you want to have healthy habits, but sometimes you fall back into your spending habits or your people-pleasing tendencies where you do things that drain a lot of your energy, although you really don't want to. And, you know, just giving a lot of people your time that probably don't deserve it because you're probably, you know, scared of cutting them off, you know. So just know I understand, I get it. And it's okay that you're going back and forth, you know. So I'm going to pull another card for you guys. But while I'm pulling another card, I just want to share with you guys something that I learned from my mom. She told me it takes 21 days to form a habit, okay? So if you are going back and forth between, you know, saving time, energy, and money, and then going back to splurging, you know, and just freely giving out your time and energy, I would just say not to feel bad about it and not to beat yourself up about, you know, reverting back to where you're coming from. Because like my mom said, it takes 21 days to actually form a good habit, okay? So it takes time to actually fully develop that mindset of I'm gonna save more money, or I'm going to be more selective with my energy, or I'm gonna manage my time better. Like, it takes time, Virgo, okay? And I know you guys are all about perfection, so you may actually be beating yourself up in this process like, oh, I shouldn't have spent my money on that, or oh, why did I just do this, now I'm tired. But it's just like, it's okay for you to be going backwards. It's okay for you to go back and forth because building good habits, it takes time. Alright Virgos, so two other cards came out for you guys. This Nine of Pentacles in reverse and this Six of Swords in reverse, okay? So yeah, it looks like you're wanting to cut out some habits, and sometimes you cut it out and other times it's like you go back to it, okay? So like for instance, if some of you guys are trying to like slow down with the drinking and smoking, it's just like sometimes you do really good and you stick to your goal. But other times you get around your friends and you know you just completely forget that goal, or you're just like, oh, one glass of wine is not bad, or 2 shots ain't bad, like I want to be drunk, you know, just a little dizzy. So it's almost as if like you're trying your hardest to cut out these habits, or cut out this person, or cut out whatever it is that you're dealing with this week. But it's almost as if like you're still working towards fully developing this new habit mentally, okay? Because like I told you, it takes 21 days to actually form a habit, okay? So it's gonna take time, Virgo, okay? But it looks like right here you may be beating yourself up, and you may actually have a really hard time letting go of this habit, okay? And with this being 9 of Pentacles in reverse, this may have been something that you've been doing for a really long time, okay? Or this is the person that you've been dealing with for a really long time. And it's like basically been deeply installed in you to do this, okay? So like some of y'all like deal with anxiety. You may have like these tics to where like you just kind of like just don't really socialize much. I know I deal with that. And it's like sometimes you're like, okay, I need to get out the house, I need to socialize more. But it's like other times it's like, I hate humans, I just want to be in the house. I know I probably should have a social life, but I really enjoy being by myself in my own peace, okay? Whatever this is that you're dealing with, or whoever this is that you're dealing with that you see that you need to get rid of, it's just you've been dealing with it or dealing with them for so long that it's almost as if like a routine now, okay? You've been doing over 21 days, okay? So I would just say to really give yourself time this week, Virgo, okay? It's okay that you're not automatically moving forward, although you see that this is not good for you, okay? It's okay that you haven't stopped smoking yet, although you know it's destroying your lungs and can cause cancer. It's okay because it looks like you've been doing this for a while, okay? So good things don't happen overnight. You can't just break a pattern overnight. And you know what? For any of you Virgos who battle with addiction, I would actually warn against trying to stop cold turkey, because it's best to kind of wean yourself off of it, okay? Even if you're like dealing with like very heavy drugs, like people were probably like, oh, you need to stop doing that. But if you have been doing that for a while, I would say to slowly wean yourself off of it, okay? Especially if you've been dealing with like really strong drugs and they've been in your system for a really long time, you just stop cold turkey, like that can actually kill you, okay? So I would say be very careful with stopping cold turkey. If any of y'all are trying to like stop smoking or drinking, like I would just say to just slowly wean yourself off, okay? You don't have to take this big jump and this big leap and just do it all overnight and change overnight. That's why you're constantly going back and forth. But if you gradually let go, okay? If you gradually let go, or if this is a person that you're in a relationship or marriage with and you've been with them for a while and it's almost as if you feel like you need to get away from them so that you can gain back your sense of self and clarity and balance and independence, you don't have to fully walk away from this person. It could just start by really slow things, okay? I used to like look at females and they've been in relationships and marriages and like with a person that's like really toxic, and I'm just like, why don't you just leave? And they like, well, I've been with them for a certain amount of time. I'm like, okay, and leave. But it's not that easy, and I have learned that from experience. Like when you have been dealing with a person for a certain amount of time and you have invested a lot of time, energy, and love and effort into this, is you can up and walk away, but you'll likely end up going right back because that's a very drastic change. But if you slowly wean yourself away from this person, okay? So hopefully it's not codependent to where you feel like you need this person for your happiness. But in case you do, which that's absolutely okay, y'all know this is a no judgment zone. But if you do, you know, find yourself in a codependent relationship to where you feel like you need this person for your happiness, I would just say to slowly wean yourself away from them, okay? You normally respond within like 5 minutes, try to increase it to 10 minutes, okay? And then once you do pretty good with the 10 minutes, increase it to 15 minutes, and then 30 minutes, and then a whole hour, and then bump it up to a day without talking to this person. Like just slowly wean yourself away, okay? So just know that you going back and forth, that's absolutely normal, okay? And but like some of y'all may be beating yourselves up about going back to this bad habit, like, oh, I know I should probably stop smoking, why am I still smoking? Like, it's like the harder you are on yourself or the more critical you become of yourself, it's almost as if the more you crave it, okay? So I would just kind of say to be careful with how you're thinking towards yourself this week, okay? Just take baby steps. When you take baby steps, it's almost like when you do get to the point to where you're able to be done with this person or done with this habit, it's like you won't even realize that you're actually done, okay? Because like I told y'all, if y'all feel like if you're codependent in your relationships where you depend on talking to your person every day to make you happy, if you are dealing with that, Virgo, that's absolutely okay. But like, you can just slowly wean yourself away from them. Like once I said, if you normally text back within 5 minutes, bump it up to 10 minutes. Okay, so to start the text back every 10 minutes. You can actually set a timer, but I would just say to really wean yourself off. If you smoke 4 cigarettes a day, okay, try to do 3 a day. Okay, after you do 1 week, or really, yeah, if you do 1 week really good with just 3 cigarettes, you know, and you're not craving another one, then go down to 2 cigarettes per day. Probably do that for about a week or 2 weeks, you know. Or if you deal with drinking a lot, okay, maybe you drink like 3 glasses of wine per day. Okay, that's fine. Maybe try 2 glasses of wine and see how that does you. And do that probably for like a month or 2, okay? And then once you do that month or 2, you can bump it down to maybe 1.5 glasses. And then you can go down to a whole glass. And then you can go down to half a glass. Like, just slowly wean yourself off. So when you do reach that goal of cutting this bad habit or getting out of this toxic relationship, you really won't even notice. Like, it'll be a natural process. But if you just try to like abruptly end this, you know, you're likely to continue to go back and forth because you're not allowing your brain to fully jump over into the new reality. It's still stuck in the old reality. I'm saying here that you really do see that you need to get rid of this, okay? And I applaud you for that, and I applaud you for your efforts. So yeah, I would just say for this week, Virgo, to just really give yourself some time, okay? And to let yourself know that it is okay that I am taking a minute to move on. It's okay that I went back to this bad habit or back to this, you know, relationship that I probably should get out of. Like, it's okay, okay? I think we need to normalize people going back into relationships that's not good for them, or normalize people picking back up bad habits, because not everybody can just up and quit like that. Some people have deeper attachments than others, okay? And that seems to be the case here, but I just want to let you know, Virgo, that that's okay, okay? So you may have your friends around you like, oh, you know, you need to stop smoking, or you know, you don't need to be with him, or you don't need to be with her. And you know what? They're right. They may be right, and you may know that they're right, but that type of stuff takes time, okay? If they don't understand that or can't understand that, it just may not be for them to understand, Virgo. But as long as you know, and as long as you understand and comprehend that the attachment that you have on this job or with this person or with this habit that you're trying to kick, you've been involved and attached to that for a really long time. So that's what your brain is used to. And so for you to kick that habit or kick this person, it literally requires you to reprogram your brain. So if your brain moves this way, you have to program your brain to move this way, and that takes some time, Virgo, okay? And not everybody can just go from this to this like that, okay? For some people, it actually takes much longer, especially if you're coming from the situation here or cutting this type of habit. This is something that you've been dealing with for a really long time, okay? So don't beat yourself up for going backwards. And yeah, just know that, you know, even if you are going back, maybe there's some more things that you have to learn. Like if you're a woman or a man and you're trying to leave a toxic relationship or marriage, but you keep going back, there may be something else that you have to learn, okay? So I would just say to honor how you feel this week. Okay, if something in you is telling you to go back, maybe there's something else that you need to learn. Okay, but don't take my advice on it. Just go by your intuition. Okay, but you know, sometimes Virgo, the universe or God, it will make us stay in a situation so long until we literally can't. Okay, so I don't know, maybe you'll end up having to go through that. Sometimes God forces us to move on, okay? So we're like, just know you will eventually be able to cut this out, okay? So you may feel compelled to go back, but that's what divine interventions are for. Divine interventions are basically moments that happen that cause us to forcibly move on. Okay, so if you're going back to this habit or going back to this person that you know you probably shouldn't, that's okay, because if you do not have the strength and courage to move on, the universe is going to help you. Okay, so just know that it's okay. Okay, know that it's okay. But if you don't have the strength to kick this, the universe is going to help you, and it's going to set it up to where kind of like you have no choice but to move on. Okay, which is a scary thing, and to some people it seems like a bad thing, but it's actually a blessing. Okay, so like for instance, if you're dealing with a person who's like really mean, they yell at you, they drink a lot and stuff like that, you may go back until the point where the universe is like, okay, my baby doesn't have the strength to move on, so I need to help her. And so to help her, the universe may actually make that person end up cheating on you, or just making them up and leave, okay, and making them to where they never talk to you again, to where you have no more access to them. Okay, so it's stuff like that that pops up, Virgo, that's really your guardian angels and your ancestors looking out for you. Okay, so yeah, or if some of y'all are trying to cut out drinking or smoking, but you're having difficulties with it, if the universe sees that you need help, it's going to help you. So like if you're dealing with drinking or smoking, the universe may actually make it to where you form some type of condition that requires you to not ever smoke again or to not ever drink again, you know. But it's all about how you see it. Most people don't look at divine interventions as tragedy or as if it's something bad, but really it's the universe trying to help us improve and work on ourselves. Okay, maybe if you're trying to get away from a job that's just really toxic, the environment is toxic and just in a very hazardous environment, but you stay there, if the universe sees that you need help, Virgo, it's probably going to end up making it to where your boss just ends up just up and firing you because they found somebody better. Or maybe the plant shuts down or something and they have to move 5 states away and you don't live all the way out there, so now you have to find another job. Like, divine interventions are there for a reason, which is to help us move forward when we do not have the courage to do it ourselves. Okay, so in case any of you Virgos come face to face with a divine intervention this week, just know that it is for your own protection, it's for your own good, and it's so that you can finally move on. Okay, so it's just all about how you view it, Virgo. Okay, but just know this goal that you have in mind, or this habit you plan on kicking, or this toxic relationship that you plan on kicking, just know you will eventually be able to move forward. Okay, it's either you will be able to do it on your own time, your own pace, or if you feel like you don't have the will or the strength or courage to let go, the universe will help you. Okay, it may seem scary, but it's really all for your own good. Okay, so I don't know why, but you know the saying that most parents get their children before they whoop them, like, this is gonna hurt me a lot more than it'll hurt you. It's kind of like the universe is the same way, like, or God is the same way. Like, God sees that we're struggling with something, so it's just like, okay, I gotta punish my child. Not so much as punishing, but I have to, you know, whoop my child in this area so that she can get it together. But it's gonna hurt me a whole lot more because I don't want to hurt her. I don't want her to go through this tragedy. But if it'll better my baby, and if it'll help her to move forward to where, you know, she can get herself together, or to where he can get himself together, Y'all reading got me crying. Ooh. Alright, y'all reading got me crying and stuff, Virgo. But sometimes God and the universe intervenes to where you go where you need to go, okay? If you see that vision of yourself, that better version of yourself that you want to work towards, but you just don't have the strength to reach that version of yourself, the universe is going to help you, okay? But, yeah. Those are those divine interventions. That's simply God stepping in and the universe stepping in to help us along the process, okay? But it can seem a little harsh, and we could seem like God is punishing us, but really, it's just God trying to give us an extra hand, okay? Especially if he sees that we're struggling with letting go. It's like he helps us to let go. He makes it so bad to where we have no choice, you know? But it's all for our own good, okay? Well, yeah, that's all that I have for you, Virgo. That's your weekly tarot reading. Kind of to give you a little thought for this week, and something to give you a little insight and forecast on what you can expect for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to like it. Also subscribe so the next time y'all's video comes out, you'll have first-hand access to it. And also comment at the bottom if you're interested how this resonates with you, so your other Virgos can comment and y'all can have y'all's own community, okay? Once again, thanks for watching. Until next time, toodles!